Hello students, I hope that everybody is doing well and studying during a lockdown period and believe that you are doing all your work well with a proper understanding. So today let us study or continue the previous topic about the Quit India resolution. Today now we study or learn adoption of the Quit India resolution. In this topic, adoption of Quit India resolution, we learn how the Congress Working Committee adopted the Quit India resolution and under whose leadership it was being led it or started it, and what was the final idea what India wants to achieve from the British, and what was the ideal or what was the commitment that Gandhiji demanded from the people. Now let us see. After a long discussion on 14th July, the Congress Working Committee adopted the Quit India resolution, which was to be ratified at Bombay AICC, that All India Congress Committee meeting in August, and on 8th August 1942, the All India Congress Committee, there's a mistake is there, don't worry about it, passed the Quit India resolution led by Gandhiji. Gandhiji then gave the clarion call to all sections of the people to participate in this movement. Gandhiji demanded the people to come and join the movement. This message to the country was, everyone is free to go to the fullest length under ahimsa to complete deadlock by strikes and other non-violent means. So Gandhiji was a man of ahimsa. Therefore, he demanded the people come and participate in the Quit India movement and under the ahimsa banner. And he told that let us go for every movement through the non-violent. So he demanded the Satyagrahis must go out to die, not to live. That's already, they wanted the people to sacrifice their life. They must seek and face death. It is only when individuals go out to die that the nation will survive. He realized that the people has to come to sacrifice their life for the country. Then only the country can come and survive from its atrocities. So therefore he said the people, do or die. Therefore, Congress leaders gave the call for driving out British, but did not give any specific or concrete direction or a line of action to be followed. The British government viewed any such ideas as rebellion, and the Viceroy took a strong attitude toward this Quit India resolution. Before the Congress could start the movement, early in the morning, 9th August, Gandhiji and all the leading Congress leaders were arrested. Congress was also declared illegal by the authority. Therefore, they could not able to come and continue their Quit India resolution to its fullest because almost all the leaders were arrested, including Gandhiji. Now let us see how the spread of this movement. The news of the arrest of Gandhiji and all other leaders spread like a wildfire all over the country. There were hartals, demonstrations and processions all over the country. As all the leaders were behind the bars, the young and the students took the charge as the leaders at the local levels. At the initial stage, the movement was non-violent, but at the repression of the authority provoked the people to be violent. So what happened, even though in the beginning the movement was being violent, even this without any leaders, the leaders were being youngsters as well as the students, When the British authority undertaken or a move towards repression or use their power to suppress it, the leaders and the people become violent. The people now devised their own methods for the struggle. There were widespread cutting of the telephone and telephone wires, damaging on the railway tracks, attacking on the government buildings, on the police stations. Apart from these, all other violent forms were used to stop the movements of the police and the military vehicles. Apart from the Congress Socialist group also played an important part under the leadership of Jayaprakash Narayan, Ramamohan Lohia, and Aruna Asif Ali. Muslim League denounced the Quit India resolution, and naturally, League refused to participate in the movement. The Communist Party of India also condemned the movement as it would weaken the British government in its struggle against fascism. The Hindu Mahasabha also condemned the movement and did not take part in the national struggle. Because we have seen that even though there are leaders who are not there in the beginning stage, later the socialist leaders have come. Who are they? Jayaprakash Narayan, Ram Manohar Lohia, Aruna Asif Ali. These three leaders also were there to lead the group, but Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha did not join it, even the Communist Party, because they thought that the British government become weakened against the fascism. Now let us get into the main centers of this movement, or we call it the important storm centers of the movement. Though the Muslim League, the Communist Party and some other organization did not participate in the historic movement, still then the people of all walks of their life took active part in the movement. We can see that there were 5 important storm centers of the movement embracing the whole of India. These were the district of Bhagalpur, Hazaribagh and Saran in Bihar, Benares, Ghazipur, Balia and Azamgarh district of United Provinces, Tamluk in Midnapur district of South Bengal, the district of Balasore, Koraput and Talcher in Orissa, and Nasik and Satara in Maharashtra. One of the important things in this movement was the active participation of the women folk. Though the Muslim League did not participate in the movement, the caste Hindu and Harijan took part very actively. Moreover, the women folk took active part in different parts of India. The well-known amongst them were Aruna Asif Ali, Sarojini Naidu, Sujeta Kripalini, and others. Now let us know something about the different phases of the movement, how it worked in different phases. There are 4 phases were the first, second, third and the final phase. Let us begin with the first phase. Now let us see the movements of the 3 phases. Sumit Sarkar, the modern Indian historian, has identified 3 phases of the Quit India movement. The first phase, the movement started in urban areas, followed by hartal, processions, demonstrations, strikes in schools, colleges and offices. Working class in a number of industrial towns went on strike. Some of these industrial centers were Bombay, Kanpur, Jamshedpur, Ahmedabad. But most of these centers the strike did not last long, except in Ahmedabad, where it continued for about 3 months. We can understand first phase was in urban areas, with the hartal, procession, demonstration, strikes in the schools and colleges and offices. So we understood first one was in urban areas. Working class also were there in industrial towns went on strike. The main centers of the urban areas were Bombay, Kanpur, Jamshedpur and Ahmedabad. Second phase we can see it led by given by a rural people. First one we have seen it was by urban, second one by rural people. The people of Tamiluk in Midnapur, district of Bengal, North and East Bihar, Eastern UP, especially Benares district, part of Maharashtra, Balasore and Talcher of Orissa took the lead in this movement. The people attacked the government buildings like post office, police stations, cut the telegraph and telephone lines. They tried to set them on fire. Temporary governments were established in Tamiluk in Bengal, Balia in United Provinces and Talcher in Orissa. We can see the rural people also was being involved in second phase. And the important one, they tried to make a temporary governments in this area. The third phase we can see that it was started roughly near about September 1942. In this phase, the movement was controlled by revolutionary leaders. In the first one we saw it was urban, second phase we saw by the rural people, but the third one was with under the control of revolutionary leaders. Underground revolutionary activities started. Jayaprakash Narayan, Ramanand Mishra escaped from Hasirabad jail and organized an underground movement in Bombay. Aruna Asaf Ali and the socialist group carried on underground activities. Speaking over the Berlin radio on 31st August 1942, Subhash Chandra Bose described the movement as non-violent guerrilla warfare. This was one of the important phases also can be seen by the revolutionary leaders like who are they? Jayaprakash Narayan, Ramanand Mishra and also Aruna Asaf Ali, even Subhash Chandra Bose. In the last phase of the movement continued up to May 1944 at the very slow pace. When Gandhiji was released from the jail, the revolutionaries celebrated the Tilak Day and Independence Day. Gradually, this historical movement of Indian people came to an end. But it is one of the greatest movements that all the people, all the walks of the people, as per Gandhiji's request, everybody has had involved in it. That we can see the first, second and third and the final phase. Especially the first three phases, we can see the involvement of different people from rural, urban and even revolutionaries. Even though the Quit India movement was being one of the best steps taken against Britishers or to repel the Britishers from India, but it failed. Let us know the causes of the failure. The historic Quit India movement failed. First, when Gandhiji and all others leaders were arrested, the movement came under the control of local leaders who were not always followers of the true Gandhian ideas. They organized the movement locally and there was no centralized leadership to coordinate and guide the movement. Naturally, the movement gradually became scattered and lost its force. Even it became more violent. According to Rajendra Prasad, extensive preparation was needed for success of this movement. The leaders of the movement should have decided their plan of action before the government has arrested them. But they made no such preparation because Gandhiji was of opinion that the government would not arrest them. That means the leaders of the Congress expected that they may not be arrested by the government. But according to Rajendra Prasad, he said that they should have a plan in advance before they start the movement. The Quit India movement also failed as the rulers of the native states, army, police and high government officials remained faithful toward the British government. That means majority people, including native states, the rulers, army, police and the high officials remained faithful towards British government. Thus, the activity of the government continued unhampered. The movement did not evoke such a response from the merchants community because the capitalist and the merchants group had profited heavily during the war period. Now let us see also the role of Muslim League and the Hindu Mahasabha. The Muslim League remained aloof from the movement and Hindu Mahasabha condemned the movement. The Communist Party of India, due to its People's War line, did not support the movement. There were some Congress leaders like Raja Gopalachari who did not participate but supported the war efforts. So, from the very beginning, the movement was ill-conceived and weak for all these reasons. That means many of the leaders, even the parties, did not support the Quit India movement. That means it was led by some of the Gandhiji and Gandhian supporter leaders and few people that we have seen in the different phases. Let us see another problem, that is another important reason for the failure of the movement was the ruthless repression of the authority. The government resorted all type of repression so cruelly. The government had adopted all methods of repression like arrest, detention, firing, burning of houses, flogging and others. This movement also used aeroplane to gun down the people in different places. That means the people were gunned down by the authority, by the air. The Allied army, which was then stationed at Calcutta, was promptly used to crash the August revolutionaries. R.C. Majumdar has rightly remarked that the general picture that emerges from these accounts may be described as a widespread revolutionary upsurge of the people almost throughout the India that manifested itself mainly in a destructive activity. They consider it as a revolutionary activity rather than a movement. So that's why they try to repress it very easily, because majority people are not being participated in it. Finally, the British government also took advantage of the wartime press censorship to suppress the movement ruthlessly. That means the news about the movement could not be spread far around India, or it would be moved far and wide. The government did not care to listen to any internal criticism of their own barbarous activities done toward the Indian. The government never heeded to the people when they have been very cruel against this through the repression or against the people. The Allied powers were busy in fighting against the Axis powers, and naturally they had no mind to think what the British were doing in India. In abroad, that means Britain, the British was not at all interested what the Britishers or the government in India was doing against the people. Hence, the Quit India movement failed, but its significance and contribution to the freedom movement of the Indian cannot be denied. That means even though it was a failure, the influence or the side effects or the impact was heavy on the Indian freedom movement. Now let us see the significance of the Quit India movement, how it is given the contribution to the freedom movement of India. Though the Quit India movement collapsed, it clearly revealed a strong determination of the Indian people to do away with the British rule. The British government had never faced such an opposition before. That means even though there are many movements where they protest were there in India during the British rule, this struggle, that means the Quit India movement was one of the greatest impact that was levied on a British. Thus the decision of the British government in 1945 to try for a negotiated settlement of transfer of power was the outcome of the Quit India movement. That means one of the greatest outcome or a influence or a contribution of the Quit India movement was the British government was ready, the readiness of British government for the negotiation to transfer the power was one of the greatest achievements. In a letter to Churchill dated 24th of October 1944, Viceroy Wavell pointed out that it would be impossible to hold India by force after the war. It would be, in fact, be wise to start negotiation before the end of the war. So they willingly decided, otherwise they realized that they cannot continue the ruling. They cannot prolong the ruling of India for a long time. Or they realized that after the war, they will be either weakened economically and politically in the homeland itself. Another way, they cannot be able to continue on the same condition in India. So the Quit India movement clearly demonstrated the fighting spirit of the people, their desperate longing for freedom. It revealed that the fear of the mighty British power had disappeared from the people's mind. The 42nd movement, that 1942 movement, was an apex of India's struggle for freedom. It also became clear that British would have to leave India sooner or later. The only question was how and when. That also we can see that one of the greatest impact of the movement, that the people got a great spirit of freedom fighting, their desperate longing of freedom, and they lost the fear of the mighty power of the British from the mind of the people. That means people are no more afraid of the British power, and it was the apex of the British struggle of India. That means the British has to by all means to leave sooner or later. It was given in the hands of the British that how and when they are leaving. Finally, the movement created a strong public opinion in foreign countries in favor of India. That means different countries began to support for the freedom movement of India, especially America and China, influenced by tide of this revolution. The American President Roosevelt wrote to the Chinese Prime Minister that the best policy for the English would be to grant independence to the people of India as soon as possible. So these are the best significant or impact of this movement, we can say, and from there the British decided to have a negotiation to hand over the power with the people to the people, and they realized that they have to leave India sooner or later. Dear students, I am going to add a few more questions for a better understanding of the classes. So do it in a separate copy as I said earlier. Until we meet for the next class, stay home, stay safe, protect yourself.